Hey guys, LevelCap here, and welcome to another episode of This Week in Gaming, the news show where we cover all things FPS. First up, DICE gave us a glimpse of the first DLC for Battlefield 1 called They Shall Not Pass. The DLC brings 4 new maps, an elite class, a new behemoth, a tank, a stationary weapon, and the French army as a new faction. Now, if you want the full details, I did a video about the recent info drop, which you can check out in the video description. Something I didn't cover in that video is the possible new infantry weapons the DLC will include. So far, I've managed to ID one of the new weapons based on this image from the Battlefield website. The image shows the support class for the French army, and he's carrying the Chauchat LMG. This weapon saw widespread use during World War I, but was notoriously unreliable due to its open magazine design. It was also one of the first truly lightweight machine guns that could be operated by a single soldier. Due to its reliability issues, the Chauchat was later replaced completely, but that wasn't until the war was actually over, so it was still a popular weapon during World War I. We'll have to see how closely DICE replicates the real version of this weapon, because in real life it only had a 240 round per minute rate of fire. That's so slow that most semi-automatic pistols will fire faster than this machine gun if DICE does decide to stay true to the original design. It's also only got a 20 round magazine, so it could be sort of maybe a battle rifle type replacement. We'll really have to see how it's used. Now, as we get information on the other weapons for the DLC, I'll be sure to cover that as soon as it's available. Now, when it comes to other games, we got our first look at the first new map for Rainbow Six Siege for 2017. It's called Coastline, and it will be released with Operation Velvet Shell that will also bring 2 new operators to the game. More info about the upcoming expansion content will be revealed during the Rainbow Six Invitational event starting next week. However, they did tease us with a very short video on one of the new Spanish operators, Jackal. He's an offensive operator, and he can turn on the ability to see enemy player footsteps, so this is really going to punch a hole in roaming tactics. If somebody's upstairs or doing stuff upstairs, you'll be able to see their footsteps with him. So it's going to be a great way for getting an idea of where you might need to building clear, which has been a pretty big problem for the offensive team in the past. This could really change up Rainbow Six meta considerably. Overwatch also got a content update this week in celebration of the Chinese New Year. Year of the Rooster lasts until the 13th of February and includes the normal mix of skins and cosmetic map changes Blizzard have brought to the game with the previous events. Year of the Rooster also brought with it the new Capture the Flag style game mode. Capture the Rooster mixes up the normal meta of Overwatch, favoring heroes with high mobility over others. It's a lot of fun, and it would be nice to see it remain in the game after the event is over. Overwatch also hit 25 million players this week. That's up from the 20 million mark it hit last October. These numbers are absolutely insane, considering a huge AAA title often will hit 10 million units sold. I mean, when Rainbow Six Siege came out, their mark for success was 7 million units sold, and they didn't even hit that. So considering that Overwatch is now at 25 million players is absolutely insane, and Blizzard yet again has another behemoth on their hands. Days of War, a World War II indie shooter that was crowdsourced on Kickstarter, has been released via Steam's early access. I've actually been playing the shooter a little bit, and I'll have a video for you guys tomorrow with more information. The Ubisoft Melee Combat title, For Honor, also has an early access, or rather closed beta, this week. People who signed up in advance have access to the game until tomorrow night. Included with the multiplayer are 6 different maps, 9 different characters you can play with, and a bunch of different game modes and content we haven't seen before. The closed beta hasn't been without its issues, but most of them seem to be related to matchmaking and game crashes, not core gameplay features. I've been enjoying the closed beta, so look forward to a video about it soon. In other upcoming game news, Mass Effect Andromeda had a new story trailer drop this week that gives us a good idea of the overall campaign. 600 years have passed since the events of Mass Effect 3, and humanity has been searching for a new planet to call home. The trailer also revealed the game's antagonist, Archon, an alien that doesn't seem to take kindly to you and your crew. Also, you have a Krogan. The sci-fi story-based shooter Prey had a new trailer drop this week that showed off a ton of gameplay and filled in what the game is actually about. Basically, people were experimenting with some aliens, and you play as Morgan Yu, director of research for the experiments. Morgan becomes a test subject, and that's where things go sideways. Realizing how devastating the alien species could be for humanity, Morgan goes on a one-man mission to wipe them out along with his research. The experiments done on Morgan gave him the ability to shapeshift like the aliens, and the trailer shows him becoming a turret at one point. All things considered, Prey is looking like a new breed of Dead Space games, but in a really good way. In a somewhat unexpected move, SWAT 4 has been released via GOG.com. The classic 2005 shooter is often hailed as a landmark title in the tactical shooter genre, but it never had a digital release until now. The GOG version includes the game's 2006 expansion, Stekov Syndicate. For $10, SWAT 4 is a solid game to get your hands on. And speaking of classic shooters, the first CSGO Major of 2017 kicked off this week, and it's been absolutely incredible so far. The group stages saw a ton of surprise, upset, and overtime matches that really highlighted just how competitive CSGO can be. The semifinals wrap up today, starting at 10 a.m. EST, with the grand finals match happening tomorrow, also at 10 EST. The winner of the tournament is walking away with $500,000, so as you can imagine, tensions are running high and there's a lot of pressure to come out on top. Anyway, that wraps it up for today's episode of This Week in Gaming. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you next time. This is LevelCap, signing off.